And we're live. Obligatory sip of coffee. Obligatory sip of water. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome today to a new installment, the Monday, whatever today's date is, installment of Geek Speaks Greek. I am your geek, George O'Connor, clearly speaking English. The Greek I'm speaking of is every episode of Geek Speaks Greek. I explore a different personage in Greek mythology, be they goddess, god, monster, or hero, and kind of do some live drawing and stuff like that. Today is Memorial Day. I'm going in a very different direction today. First off, you notice the backdrop is different. Instead of my customary bookcase's backdrop, I'm sitting down at my kitchen table, my dining room table. I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. Today is going to be kind of let's call it a relaxed episode. I'm going to go a little bit heavier in the Q&A, but the main feature of today, something I've been threatening to do for a very long time. It's long been part of the backdrop of my Geek Speaks Greek livecasts. We're going to explore the genesis of the Legolympians. Behold in all their glory the custom-made set. Let me hold this good so I don't drop. Oh, can you imagine if I just dropped this and broke it? That would be perfect. The custom-made Legolympian set. This is, I'm just going to say it up here. This is one of the best gifts. It's definitely the best Christmas gift I've ever gotten. It's one of the best gifts I have ever received. And you're going to see, guys, I meant to do this as kind of a light episode. I ended up doing a lot of research and kind of going through my photo rolls, kind of like going through the evolution of this set, because I did receive it as a gift. By the way, all credit to super assistant Nicole, who's also my girlfriend. This was a gift she gave me way back in 2015, is what we could figure out. And it's changed a lot since then. There's been a lot. It's become sort of a collaboration project between the two of us. But the gist of this, the whole idea of even creating this, is something that started with her. So, okay, if you've been watching this since the beginning, you know I'm like a huge Greek mythology fan, clearly. I mean, I write and draw the Olympians series. I've been doing this live cast on this. I'm also an enormous Lego fan. In the room, actually right to the side of where I normally film this, in my living room, there is it's like an 8-foot by 3.5-foot table that is completely covered with an entire Lego city I've made called Brooklyn. Get it? Brooklyn. And there's all these other things. There's like shelves above it. There's like a Marvel shelf where I put some of the Marvel stuff I got. There's a Simpsons shelf where I put the Simpsons Legos I got. There's like a haunted house shelf because I couldn't quite fit that into Brooklyn, but there's like haunted house and spooky stuff there and things. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if I have a photo. I should have grabbed a photo of the whole thing. Lego Brooklyn is a little bit in disrepair right now, so I'm not going to run over and take a photo of it. But you know what? I'm jumping ahead of myself here. So I want to actually, as if you've watched this in the past, this is the most low-tech, high-tech show on the entire internet. I wanted to share some of the fan mail and art that has been coming my way. Because as per usual, you guys have been nailing it. So the past week that we just finished, it was Groups of Goddesses week. On Monday, we did the Irenes and the Moire together, also known as the Furies and the Fates. It's just said Fates and Furious because it's like Fates and Furious, but, I messed up. On Wednesday, we did the Charites, the goddesses of beauty and adornment and grace. And then on Friday, in what could only be described as a marathon session, I did all the musée, all muses. It was a frantic drawing, just trying to get them all down. And what I've been very funny to see is a lot of the artwork that people shared with me, they all said the same thing, like, wow, that's a lot of goddesses to draw. I'm like, I know, right? But before we get into that, I received a wonderful letter. And it's a letter, I would say. I mean, it was online, but there's quite a bit of writing involved in this, from a fan of mine named Zuza. I don't know if Zeus identifies as male or female, but Zuza is somebody who discovered my books when they were younger, is now a teenager, and is a very talented writer, and also an amazing artist. Zuza mentions that it's become a thing on here. I think we've noticed a lot of my fans don't like to draw boys. They like to draw girls. Zuza says that is not a problem that they have. This is a picture they drew of the equine versions of Poseidon and Demeter that we see at the tail of Poseidon's book. Oh, I said tail because I was looking at tail, didn't I? That's great. In fact, Zuza says normally they tend to draw animals more than anything else. But I want to share this one. This is a picture they drew. Oh, it's a little shiny. Of Dionysus. Look how good that is. That's amazing. Oh, good. I was about to say, my favorite part is the lines on the nose, and they weren't showing up. Like this, Zuza, thank you so much for writing. This is a great letter. I've read it twice. It goes into a lot of stuff. Zuza very much knows their stuff. There's some really, it's this sort of letters, things like this. As a person who's been doing this for a while now, this stuff makes me feel really good. So thank you so much, Zuza, for taking the time to write this in. Okay. Now, also on the show on Friday? I don't remember which day. It must have been Friday. We get a lot of mail from Nora and Drake. Nora and Drake are a brother-sister team, very talented artists, right? And Nora and Drake also sent in this amazing, turns out it's not Photoshop. It turns out it's Microsoft Paint. Photo of them as all 9 muses. And I said, I wanted to post it up online. I officially got the permission, so watch for that later. I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff today, including some photos from today's session. But here are some of the pictures. So first up, these are pictures of Nora they're of ownership. Nora drew these. There's Urania, the muse of astronomy. There's Calliope, the muse of epic poetry. And the middle is little Orpheus. Oh, little tiny Orpheus. I'll be honest, I almost did Orpheus today. I think, I'm just going to say it, I'm doing Orpheus on Wednesday. I've had some recent... last night, my girlfriend and I were listening to Hades Town for the 80 millionth time. Had some realizations about Orpheus I had to share. So, Wednesday's episode, I'm going to be tackling Orpheus. Somebody who to date I think has appeared in one panel of Olympians. Maybe next week will be people who I frequently mention as having been cut from Olympians theme. I don't know. Or this week. I don't know. Before I get too much into my blabbing, it's easier to blab when I'm sitting down, guys. I hope I don't get too off thing. And then we have also by Nora, here is Talia and Terpsichore. Interesting, too, because we have the muse of choral dance and, choral singing and dancing, and the muse of comedy. We only normally see Melpomene and Talia together, or Terpsichore and Euterpe, who I put in the books together, but different mixing matching. I like it. Then here... all by herself, but see, happy and sad, like I always say. There's Erato, one of my favorites. And then finally, this one, wait, who is this one? This is, I guess Drake's enough of these artsy ladies. I'm drawing Aries. I mean, look how cool that is. I love the red. All right, that's great. His feet look like the way Jack Kirby used to draw Thor's feet in the old comics. So, that's great. Okay. Man, I am just looking. I probably have more artwork than I could show, even though this is a Relax Fit episode. So if I didn't get to your stuff today, I might share it on Wednesday Okay, so we're all friends of Yehi, who is one of my most illustrious fan artists. Yehi is, I would say, operating at professional capacity. Yehi should be publishing their own books any day now, as far as I'm concerned. Yehi sent in tons of pictures, okay? First off, a delightful Talia. Look at that face. That's kind of the perfect Talia face, too. Because, she's cute, but, doesn't she look, just a little annoying? Because, we talked about this. Talia and Melpomene kind of, balance each other out. Because then look at Melpomene. Hey, would it kill you to crack a smile, Melpomene? Probably. You're the muse of tragedy. I love this background. I love her pose. Look at the way she has the one relaxed hand and her other hand is kind of gripping the blade a little bit tight. Also, it has this kind of Art Deco look. It looks like something Alphonse Mucha would do. That's amazing. Here we have... we were talking about how the original muses were practice and memorization and song, and this is a little reference to that here. And somebody, and I'm guessing it was probably Yehi, I don't remember who said it, mused that the muse of comics would maybe be Athena herself. So here is Athena in front of a bunch of empty panels. And she's got, like, there's Arachne hanging on her helmet, which just seems like, I don't know, you're asking for it being there, Arachne. And she's holding the various tools. She's got, I think that's an X-Acto blade. Not a tool I use, but I guess in the old days for making Zipatone, you would use that. And she's got a pencil, and she's got a ruler, and an eraser. You know what? That's not an X-Acto blade. That's a pen. Good Lord, George. This is what I get for looking at stuff upside down. And this one I really love. There's a lot more from Yehi, but so this has become just the all Yehi show. We also talked about somebody, and now I'm guessing it was definitely Yehi who said it, opined, because we talked about, why aren't there visual arts, right? Represented. The muses tend to be all, written or singing or music arts. And it's weird that they don't have the visual arts. And somebody said, well, maybe they don't do the visual arts because Apollo is really bad at drawing, and it would make him feel bad. And so here's Apollo trying to draw. I assume he is drawing... Wait, no. That's probably Polyhymnia. She's just straight up crying at what she's saying. The muses in general are having different reactions. Some people are reacting quite violently. Look at this. Talia crying, Melpomene laughing, and Hephaestus, I'm just going to say, he's saying, no muse of visual arts for a reason, Apollo. Because actually, if you recall, also I said he was probably the one that was the muse of visual arts. Okay. Like I said, there's too much cool stuff from Yehi. I'm going to have to split this up into a couple different episodes. Yehi, you're incredible. How do you have the time to do all this? My job is I draw for a living. I don't know if I could draw as many things as you do in this time. This is... Little Serial's pictures always get really big for some reason. Let me see if I can shrink this down. Okay. Little Serial drew a picture. Look how beautiful this is. Look, this is Erato, in case you don't recognize her. She's the muse of erotic or love poetry, and also mime, which we made some jokes about that. This is beautiful. And again, I kind of mentioned that I think the reason I like her is that there's, whenever I drew her, and I didn't intend it right away, but sometimes when you draw something, characters kind of take on their own life, there was a wistfulness or a sadness there. And that's really apparent there, and I thought it was really great. Okay, now we got a few going through. Now, I did mention, people tried to tackle the whole muses. It's a lot to draw. So here we have Meshea's version. She didn't draw them all. Up top is Cleo, there's enormous amounts of Greek writing there. Then we have Urania holding up aloft the globe. And the ever-popular Talia and Melpomene with the sad mask and the happy mask. These are great. And she wrote that what she liked about drawing, Meshea liked about drawing this, is that it made her go faster. And that's a thing that, I think as an artist, as an artist in generally, I draw pretty fast. That's kind of my thing. But that's not an easy thing for most people. It wasn't necessarily even an easy thing for me at first. But it's something I kind of trained myself to draw fast because, well, like I talked about with Errata, right? How a sadness came into her character I didn't intend to be there. Because when you draw fast, you're not second guessing yourself. You're not double guessing, overthinking things. Stuff comes out in your drawing. It's kind of hidden. There's less steps in there, so you surprise yourself with what you draw. So Erato, because I knew her story, she was relating a sad story. In the book Apollo, she relates the death of Hyacinth, one of Apollo's first loves, one of Apollo's only loves. And there's this kind of sadness that you could tell she loves Apollo too. And those things came out in the drawings in a way that I probably couldn't have put in there if I was trying to do myself, which I did draw myself, but you know what I'm saying. Here's another one. This is from Ilia. 9 muses was too many, so Ilia decided to draw their symbols instead. So we have the double flute of Euterpe. We have, it's hard to tell whose lyre that is because there's multiple lyres, right? There is the shepherd's staff. There's multiple muses with lyres. George, say all the words. There we have the shepherd's staff of Talia and her mask. Over here is the sword and the mask of Melpomene. Here is, you know what? I'm going to say pretty confidently that this is Euterpe's lyre. Terpsichore's lyre, I'm sorry. And then this over here is Erato's lyre, because it looks like hers. Here's the scroll, can't remember words of Erato, the globe of Urania, and the tablet and pen of Calliope. Is that the first tablet and pen we've seen here so far? Now, this is some nice one. I also received a very nice letter from the mom of two young fellows named Nate and Teddy, whose names I just love. Those are awesome names. And then I said, like, hey, I don't know if they draw stuff, but if they do, please send it to me. I'd love to share it. So Nate and Teddy, I actually am not sure whose is which, but here's a drawing of Artemis. It's very nice. And then here is a drawing of Aries. I don't know who drew which one was it, Nate or Teddy, but they're both really great. Guys, thank you so much for sharing this. Apparently they become quite the experts in Greek mythology, which I'm like, cool. Fun story. People who read my books, who become fans of Greek mythology through my books, or at least partially through my books, my girlfriend and I, we call them well-actually people, because I'm a well-actually person. And a well-actually person is a person who you go through life and you hear people who don't know Greek mythology as well as you say something. Like they might say, Hercules is the son of Zeus. And then a well-actually person's job is to go, well, actually, his Greek name was Heracles. I am the original I'm sure there were well-actuallys before me, but like, I'm definitely a well-actually guy. So all of you who do that, you are my people, I understand. Whenever I do a signing, it's pretty rare for one of my fans not to well-actually myself, because I just say something too short. Let's do one more, okay? And this is from Eleanor. Oh, what happened? Okay. Eleanor has been... I think Eleanor sent a picture almost every single episode. Eleanor, I think this is the only one we're going to show today, who drew all 9 muses. And Eleanor has this vibrant sense of color. She literally attacks the page with zeal and fervor. And I love her stuff. And it's so cool to see them. Eleanor, thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. Sweaty, because, I'm always sweaty. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Now let's get into some Lego talk, shall we? I held up the palace a little bit before. The Lego Olympus. I have some photos to show you at various stages. So, Lego Olympus in its current form is largely mirroring, my friends are texting me as I speak, is largely mirroring my Olympians poster, the Olympians family tree. Not the Olympians family tree. I think it's, you think I'd remember my own thing it's called. It's like Very Strange Family or something. Weirdness is Relative. Oh, that would have been better. Oh, I should have done that. That's not what it is. But so it's kind of like that. So let me hold it up again really quickly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some series of photos showing the evolution of Lego Olympus. And then I'm going to kind of show you some of the pieces up close, if you're into that. And maybe show you, tell you how we made them, what the pieces come from. And maybe, so you could make your own Lego Olympus. Oh my god, I keep saying Lego Olympus. Before I get too far into that, though, I want to share, this is something from my fan, Maggie. And Maggie has, let me hold this sideways so we can see more of it. She has sent me a photo previously, and her mom sent it again today. She had made her own Lego Olympians. And look how cool these, you can see, and they're different than mine, but you can totally see who they are. So, here's Artemis, totally. There's Pan. We have the same Pan, because they actually just straight up made Pan. You could just buy a Pan. There's Apollo. This is the Athena. Again, Athena is someone they actually straight up made. We went with a different Athena design for hers, but you could just buy that one in the store. Hermes, which looks very close to my Hermes was for a while. He's based on this Lego figure called, I think, the Golden God. There's a Hestia behind, I'm looking this upside down so I can't see everybody. It looks like there's a Cyclopes. There's Zeus in the middle with Hera next to him. There's Poseidon. That's, of course, Hephaestus with, the short legs, because, Hephaestus. Here's an Eros right up front. He's actually wearing the wings that originally came with the Golden God, I think. There's Ares. I think Ares is another one they straight up made. You could just buy that figure. There's Aphrodite. There's the Medusa. I think this dude back here, if you look, he's blue and starry. I think that's Uranus, which is cool, super cool. Oh, and unfortunately you can't see them so much, but there's Hades, there's Persephone, and there's Demeter. So that's so cool. All right, Lego is the best thing in the world. I mean, honestly, I think it's one of the best inventions of the 20th century. It's so clever. It's just delightful. And it's one of the things I do a lot. to relax. If I have a long day working or I want to like just spend some time thinking, I'm not a guy who like sits there and watches TV very much. If I do, I normally have my sketchbook or something. But a lot of times if I'm just chilling out, I'll just do like some Lego and just kind of like, have something on the background, and it helps me think, right? So I downloaded all these photos in the order I could get them. So we're gonna see like an evolution of the Legolympians. There's a couple big omissions. I'll talk you through them. Legos and tape are great inventions. Yes. Oh, the starry one is Cellini. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. This is the earliest photo I could find of the Olympians as they had arrived. It's not right away. So I think here's what happened. I think I got this as my gift. And of course, I was so stupidly excited. I wasn't going to take photos. I'm like, oh my gosh, give me these like Olympians, right? And we thought maybe Nicole took some photos, but I honestly think we just forgot to look for them after all. But this is the earlier versions, and a lot of them have changed quite a bit than what you'll see in the final version. Hephaestus has an alternate beard here. Hestia is exactly the same. The three brothers are exactly the same. Hera has a totally different body, which is Ares is the same. Hermes, who probably wins the award with Apollo, they're both very different. They went through a lot of changes. And on the side, so this is a little bit different because she just had like a very basic base. I'm making the first of Olympians. I made some columns. I put the Minotaur, which is a Lego figure you could just buy. I put the Cyclopes, which are Lego figures you could just buy. And then together out of pieces I already had, we cobbled together this proto-Dionysus. So, but everyone else is something that Nicole made herself. She went online and like would search. There's different sites where you could buy individual Lego pieces. Search for just the right face wherever she could find them. A lot of these pieces she got from England in a place called Firestar Toys, where you could just like individually like find the places. So she put this together. I can't express to you how much my mind was blown, and I just wanted to be like, oh my gosh, let's just play with Lego all day, and we did. And unfortunately, didn't take photos. But this is like a few days later, right? So we have that. Then, wait, am I going in the right order? Oh yeah, okay. Big skip. I'm like, such a fine assemblage of Olympians needs their own Olympus. This is my first Olympus I bought. There's the pit for Hestia. My current pit is much nicer. There's Hephaestus. We put on the other beard and hair for him that she'd also ordered because we're like, the other beard looked weird and it didn't let his hair fit on there. So like, this is the Hephaestus as he currently is. I think everyone else is pretty much the same. Even the Dionysus we threw together, drunk on the floor, he doesn't even have his hair yet. So then I made we searched some stuff out. I ordered some pieces, found a few more pieces I had around, and we added to it Demeter with Cryosaur, her golden blade. A fun thing about Demeter, she has two faces. Her other face is nice and just calm, and this face is like dirty and crazy. This is like Demeter when she's missing Persephone. Like right when she's about to like attack Zeus, like, I can't kill you, but I'll make you wish you were dead. And then Persephone, this one I was so happy with this one. Like we even found a black hair piece that had a purple flower mold in it. It's perfect for Persephone after she's already gone to Underworld and returned. Gave her kind of the mean expression because, as you know, Persephone's name on the surface world is Kore, which just means like maiden. It's not a super exciting name. When she goes to the Underworld, she renames herself Bringer of Destruction. So she has a dark side. This is Persephone enjoying being the dread queen of the dead. Dionysus finally got some hair. I also found a third-party person who sold grapes. I'm like, well, he's got to have some grapes. And then he has some grapes. And then Dionysus was done. A little bit later, a few months later, Nicole had, I think, we were trying to remember this. She had ordered some of these pieces, but somehow not all of it. We didn't assemble the fates until later. But there you could see, there is Clotho with her little spool. And then there's the Lachesis measuring out the amounts. And there's Atropos with her scissors to cut it. Like, how fun is that? Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I remember their faces are speeder bike pilot faces. So if you buy like a Star Wars speeder bike Lego, at least an old one, because I think nowadays they would have like peach colored skin, but they used to make them with the yellow skin. By the way, you notice I went all yellow skin. I'm a big fan of Simpsons yellow Lego characters. So we had to go, this is an old thing. Like, if you look closely, there's actually like shine marks on their things, but like, you'd have to look really closely. My main man Hermes went through some changes at this point. We never had found, I found a piece, like a weird piece that would make a pretty decent Caduceus, and I got a different helmet for him. It's a helmet of Thor from Marvel Comics. Put that on. Still was kind of bugged I could see his face, though. As you know, my Hermes, you can't see his eyes. I eventually changed that. Now, this is the final assemblage of the Olympians. We've added in Demeter and Persephone. I've changed around their positioning. We have a drunken Dionysus. I threw in that Pan figure that you could just buy off the shelf, and it's really exciting. And like, I put in the pillars. I've made some nice marble backgrounds for them. There's some Phaistos has his anvil. That also was part of the original set. There's some details that you don't see in any of these pictures, but she even came up with a helmet of invisibility for Hades that you could put on instead. And that there's a little spot I hid behind there, so you could put that on there. Oh, and Hera has her red dress now, which matches more closely the way she's appeared in some of the comics. Then I started getting really ambitious. I started building an actual mountain. It's a huge base. I bought tons of green and brown of all different shade bricks and started putting them together. I made a little woods at the bottom. And, well, this is a picture of it all assembled. Now, unfortunately, I started building Olympus before we had built in the Fates. So the Fates have to kind of very ignominiously stand atop the pillars. Not a great spot for them. Also, look, there's an owl from Harry Potter. That's, let's assume that's Athena's owl. And here you can see some of the base of Mount Olympus itself. And then it was all assembled like this. I had my Olympians poster on the wall above it. I have the Lego Olympus there. There's the mountain. In the mountain below, you could see I had the Cyclopes, I had the Minotaur. I think Medusa was walking through there. Now, here's a hint of trouble to come. Look closely at the bottom. Can you see a few of the figures are knocked? Oh, there's Heracles too. I'll talk about him in a second. You see how on the bottom a few of the trees are knocked over? A few of the figures? Yeah. Before I get into that, Heracles is a figure I made. He's got the chest of Pan because it was furry. It was a furry muscular chest, but yeah, I want some body hair here. I don't remember what feet he has, but from a third-party seller, some people make things for Legos, I found a wolf head that fit over the head. Now, it would have been better if it was a lion, but nobody makes a lion, but it's the closest I could find. So, Heracles is there. I was very pleased with this. And what you can't see in this picture, remember I mentioned Brooklyn? Beneath this is literally looming above my giant Lego Brooklyn. So there's all these buildings, and all the people are looking up the gods are literally smiling upon them. And the marble shelves off to the side, and the Simpson shelf and other shelves and stuff. And it was just beautiful. And then I got some kittens. Now, actually in one of these photos, I'm gonna go back. Oh, maybe I didn't include that one. So I had another photo I was going to put in, but I forgot, of my Lego whoa, that's not it. Of my Lego just kind of existing there in the foreground. I'm working on stuff. It's just out in the open. And in the background, my good cat Birdie just kind of chilling out. Birdie is a weird cat. She doesn't care about Lego. And one of my good friends, James, he would always come over and be like, you have no idea how lucky you are that this cat doesn't just smack stuff over all the time. You have Lego and little things all over this house. Any other cat would be destroying this constantly. And I didn't know how lucky I was. Birdie was just great. She just knew. Maybe the first time I took out Lego, she's like, can I knock on the floor? I'm like, no, Birdie. She's like, okay, I won't. Then I got these stinkers. There's Pinky and there's Figgy. They're cute, they're adorable, and that's the only thing that prevents them from being put out, because they're you know how a lot of times I'm doing the episodes, the stuff's getting knocked over in the background, and I'm like, what's going on? It's these two. They're awful. They're rotten. They became obsessed with the Lego Olympus. They always were watching it. So this picture here, where the things are knocked over, that's because they would kind of jump up the wall and smack things down. Uh-oh. It seems that Nicole has just popped on, and she has sent me the very first pic taken of the very first iteration. And the second, all right, I'm going to actually have to do a little bit and go back and find these pictures. She just found the original pictures. So I was talking about the omissions. We have that omission filled. Now, the next omission, I put this up high. This must have been up at least 6 feet high, if not higher. This was not easy to get to. One morning, I woke up, and there's no photos of this, because we thought I had sent pics to Nicole to say like, oh my God, I can't believe the cats did this. But what we realized is it was probably a FaceTime call because I was so upset. They knocked that entire shelf off the wall. The entirety of Lego Olympus fell into Lego Brooklyn. Like, it was a catastrophe. Get it? A catastrophe. Lego Olympus, that mountain was shattered. My entire living room was filled with green and brown little wedge blocks. Additionally, this kind of big Lego mold and a shelf fell on top of Brooklyn. So, like, the poor people of Brooklyn, their houses were smashed. Everything was destroyed. We couldn't find Aphrodite for, like, a month. Like, we're like, where did she go? She was buried in the rubble. Like, she was trapped. It was so awful. Then, well, let me see if I could find, I don't know where she sent it to. Let's hope I find it. Did she send it to my personal email? Did she send it to my... here we go. She sent it as a text. So, going back. Here we have, this is the first ever picture of the Lego Olympians. So actually there are some differences I didn't remember. It looks like for instance, maybe we just took off her helmet because it looks like Athena has different hair. But I think she had her helmet, we just didn't put it on for this picture. And there you can actually see, that looks like, oh no, that's Hades, I guess, wearing his original helmet. Or maybe Hermes? Actually, there's less figures here than we thought. There's only 8 or 9. I don't know. There's some mysterious stuff going on there. And then this is a pic she sent me. I think we've seen, no. This is one of a few days later after I made this is very similar to a picture we've seen where I've made my first attempt at Lego Olympus. Oh, it's Hermes, the one with the helmet. That was Hermes' first helmet. Oh, that's a weird helmet. Yeah, Hermes, like I said, Hermes and Apollo went through the most changes. Apollo, we must have tried out like... Oh, I just hit the thing. Apollo, we must have tried out like 5 or 6 different hair pieces for. We ended up changing out his entire torso 2 or 3 times. He still has the same feet. Hermes, we went through like so many different helmet changes and eventually faces. So now I'm going to kind of... Unfortunately, because you have to hold it this way, I would have loved to have gone sideways, right? But, let me hold it up a little bit higher so you can see. So this is a glimpse of the Lego Olympus all together. Now you can see it's much more structurally sound. It looks better, too. I had to, like, find some cool arch pieces and things. I'll just talk to you through here while I hold it up. I put in the red curtains that you see in the background, which I'm like, oh, I really like this. This version of Lego Olympus, it's also quite a bit wider, so there's room for everybody. In fact, there's a couple of funny little substitutions. It's not quite matching my poster exactly yet. You will notice Eris is missing. She's not there about to light Dionysus' butt on fire. I should really make an Eris. There's no reason I haven't made her yet. I'm going to after this, I'm probably going to goof around online and find a piece of Eris. And I need to make the Charites. What I have in their place instead is the 3 Cyclopes. That seems weird. Oh, that reminds me. I didn't mention this. The original Lego Olympus, the one with the actual mountain, I didn't have a photo of it. The back of it was like you had the big mountain up front. You turned it around. There was Hephaestus's workshop back there, and there was like his bellows, and there was all these different weapons and stuff that he was building. And that's where the Cyclopes would hang out and stuff. I mean, these don't look anything like my Cyclopes, but hilarious. So my friend Simon just came on. Hail Eris is very appropriate because my cats are certainly agents of discord and they killed it. Oh, I also want to, look at my shirt. Now that we're seeing it. I'm wearing one of my favorite Greek mythology shirts for the occasion today. Let me take this out really quickly. It's the planets, but they're all with their godly attributes. So like there's Jupiter, aka Zeus, and he's throwing lightning bolts at poor old Neptune, aka Poseidon. There's Mother Earth looking all pretty, and then there's Mars with his helmet, his Ares. Over here is Pluto on timeout because he's not a planet anymore. Here is Uranus eating the other planets because, that's what he does. Wait, no, Saturn eating the other planets. There's little Mercury. Over here is Venus being all pretty. This one, I don't understand this. This is either, Uranus or Uranus, whichever terrible word you want to call him. Why is he I can't say if he's an old guy or a nerd. I guess he's a nerd. Why? I don't get that part. Where did I get the shirt? Good question. I'll look it up and see if I can find it. Now I figure what I'll do. I'm going to take a few of these characters off and kind of show them to you up close, right? How should we do it? Let's start with Zeus, because you should always start with Zeus, right? So Zeus is in the back with a little tiny mini pillar next to him, just like how you would see in the photo of my poster. He's kind of like arm wrestling. Well, he's not arm wrestling here because he's actually holding up his lightning bolts. So this Zeus is one of the figures that never changed at all from Nicole's original version. He's got super buff chest. I mean, look at those abs, right? He's got his lightning bolts. He's got his little skirt on, his mini skirt, which is actually fabric. Here's his face, which he looks perfect. Like, if you made a special one of these, I don't see there would need to be any difference. Like, if you actually, like, had this as store-bought, like, this would be what you would make, right? There wouldn't be any reason to make him differently. And then, here we have Hera. Of course, Hera is my favorite goddess, as we know. Look at the perfect hair. She has the bun. She's got the red outfit. Her red outfit, it's just a wedge block is the dress. And if you look carefully, it's really hard to see. We actually changed her top out twice. At one point, she just had a plain red brick. There's a little bit of red detail in there to show that she's got some fabric on there. And her face is annoyed. I thought she had an alternate face. No, she's just annoyed all the time. She's next to her husband, Zeus. Who wouldn't be annoyed? Here we have Poseidon. Poseidon's another one who hasn't changed at all. He has his trident. That came with like one of the Lego Atlantis sets. His face is perfect. Again, you wouldn't change a thing. He's also pretty shredded. He's wearing a little loincloth, which is pretty great. It's another one of those third-party things. This isn't an official Lego piece. It's something that somebody made for Lego as compliments. Lego is a huge subculture, right? There's these people, they call themselves AFOLs, adult fans of Lego. I am one. They make their MOCs, they're my own creations. This is one of my own creations with Nicole. And there's this whole like weird language and thing and stuff, but then there's a whole bunch of couples that, I'm just laughing at something Simon typed. There's a whole bunch of companies that make pieces that Lego never got around to making. And some Legos fans, AFOLs, are called purists. They won't use those pieces. I'm not a purist. If there's a piece out there that Lego hasn't made that is perfect for one of my Lego Olympians, oh, you better believe I'll use that piece. I mean, I'm not that fancy. Let's go. Okay, next we have, here's Hades. Unchanged since beginning. Sour look on his face. His hair is perfect. He's wearing a black robe, little black loincloth. Funny, nothing on his backside, so he's kind of just wearing a thong. It's like inappropriate. Here's his helmet. It's attaches to the back. I put it on a little skull, but if you turn around the set, I should turn around the set later and show you the backside with the hidden accessories. So there is Hades. And if you recall, in the original version, Hades was kind of by himself. He didn't have his little family. So he didn't have his queen. So here is that Persephone I showed you. Unchanged since when we first made her. The only addition is she's now holding a flower made by, you got it, a third-party reseller. It's red. It's not purple. They don't make a purple flower, at least last time I checked. Every once in a while I remember to check, because once they do have a purple flower to match her hair, she's tossing the rose, she's getting a violet. Did she have another face too? No. Some of them have other faces under their hair, but I love her expression, the way it's kind of the nasty side of her. Not nasty, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's nasty in a good way. Here we have this is the Demeter. Demeter doesn't have a face on the other side. Demeter's dirty all the time. Crazy Demeter. Just a plain green top, yellow arms. She's wearing a skirt just like Zeus. Cryosaur, her blade, I made out of different pieces. Her hair comes from one of those, have you seen the Lego Friends line? Lego Friends is like, they're a little bit more, the figures are a little bit larger, and the sets are a little bit more, like, about friends. Like, they're not mini figures. They're definitely different looking, but their heads are the same size. So you can actually use their wigs. Their wigs are really great. They're like soft rubber, and they've several of my characters have that. I'm not going to show you the Minotaur, because the Minotaur you can get anywhere. Eagle-eyed fans of my posters will actually, and the new poster Heracles is easy to see. The original group family, there's like a little bit hiding, Heracles hiding. Here's my Heracles I made. His club is a brown carrot. I don't know why they made a brown carrot, but he has it. He's got his bow and arrow. He's got his rippled muscles and his chest hair. He's got a torn loincloth because, he's Heracles, he doesn't care. And this is that wolf head kind of hat, which I'm pretending it's a lion. Let's pretend it's the lion of Nemea. He also has hiding... Oh no, I knocked off an owl. Hiding behind here, he has a normal hair piece I could put on him. So here's Heracles. If you don't want to have him wearing that, that's him just with his normal hair. Like, hey, look at me, I'm Heracles. But what company makes Lego compatible special pieces? There are so many. So there are some companies that are actually like legit like big toy companies like Mega Bloks and stuff. The general Lego brick, the interconnective system, I'm not going to put Heracles back in there because I'll knock everything over. I'll put him back later. Apparently the the patent on that has expired, so people can make things that are compatible with it. But then there's just people who are like fans, people like me, who will make 3D printed versions and then like make molds and prints. I don't do this, but there are people who do it. It's amazing. Type in custom Lego stuff, and half of my Instagram is stuff I follow, Lego things like that. The whole you could disappear down. I'm just gonna grab one of the Fates. Don't need to grab them all. Oh, wait, no, they're all attached, so I kind of did. Well, I'll just grab this one. Here is one of the Fates. She's wearing, let me turn her head slightly. See, there's the speeder bike helmet. It's like an emperor head. She's kind of the emperor, actually. I don't have an emperor figure, so I don't know if that is how they do the emperor. But, I mean, those pieces definitely look like the emperor from Star Wars. Well, I don't know why I said that way. Here's Artemis. Artemis, she has gone through, I think, a few changes, like mainly in accessories. I got her silver bow. She has a quiver. Her hair is perfect. She's got her sandals. I think maybe this is a different skirt. I'm not sure. And, I knocked somebody off, I think. Somebody's missing somewhere. I don't know. And over here is Apollo. Like I said, Apollo went through a lot of changes. We finally found this hair. He's holding his lyre. He's still got the same legs and same skirt. And he's bare-chested now. I think the first Apollo was wearing like a breastplate, which is something he really doesn't wear. But when you find like Lego pieces, sometimes it's pretty hard to find them. And his bow and arrow and quiver attached to a spot behind the throne. Yeah, there's definitely someone missing here. I have a space. Oh, or maybe I was going to make a Hebe. I don't have a Hebe yet. How have I not made a Hebe? This is awesome. Look at this Athena. So this is Athena wearing her helmet. She's got a spear. She's got an actual, Greek-looking shield. She doesn't have legs, if you look. It's just a brick that looks like a skirt, and it's thin. It's not like the one with Hera does, where it's just a wedge. Athena also came with hair to put on, so you could make a helmetless Athena if you want. This piece, her helmet, her breastplate, and her shield are all third-party stuff. There's some guys out there, I think they're called Brick Arms. Don't swear on this one. Brick Arms is a company. I think they're the ones that they make like these kind of old military pieces. Because Lego, why haven't you done this yet? You haven't done an ancient Greek or ancient Roman set. Come on, you've done a couple figures here and there. But I would buy the heck out of that. Are you kidding me? Athena is next to Hermes. Now, Hermes is like I said, he's one of those guys who changed a lot. His original... Eros is there, actually. It's not Eros. I don't know who that's for. So there's his Caduceus. He's got a different head now where you can't see his eyes. This helmet is from a Jay Garrick Flash. Jay Garrick is the original Flash. He has wings that pop into the back of his feet. Those came from a third-party person too, but look how cool they look. He's got his sandal feet. Those are original. His torso is original. And he has a molded cape, which is also, I think, from third party. He probably has the most pieces that are not actual Lego of anybody. Because I think even the Jay Garrick helmet, they've made a Jay Garrick figure, but I think this is maybe like a third-party version. Let me put him back. Okay, now this one's super clever. Here's Aphrodite. Aphrodite went through a few hair changes. First Aphrodite, I don't remember what hair it was. I think it was, it was actually the same hair that that Demeter has now. It was one of the Friends line hairs, so just in brown. Didn't quite look like her. Then the second hair we got for her was, it was from the, oh wait, no, this is that one. Then they did a Bellatrix Lestrange from like Harry Potter, and her hair was black, and it looked perfect for it, but they didn't have it in brown. Then they did a Ghostbusters line, and they did Dana, and that was her hair. So she's got Dana's hair, which was like, that was a hard piece to get, because that was only sold with the giant house. And her body is the Statue of Liberty. Nicole just bought the Statue of Liberty figure. We popped the arms off. These are actually the bracelets from the Athena figure that they did themselves. They're actually straight up Athena figure. Do I have a graveyard of pieces that have been replaced? Oh my goodness. Underneath my table, I'll take some shots of this and post them up afterwards. I not only have a graveyard, I have a bin full of pieces. I have thousands upon thousands of Lego. You guys don't understand. This is a real problem I have. So Aphrodite being made with Statue of Liberty is one of the most clever things ever. She's up there, of course, next to her paramour, her love, Ares. Ares is also perfect. He hasn't changed since the day got him. He has that helmet, the breastplate, little shin guards, 2 swords, cape. I'm going to pull up his thing so you can see his face. Angry face with glowing red eyes. Again, this is a figure of like, I don't think you have to change a single thing. You know what? There was no hairpiece for Ares. Ares does not have the option to take off his helmet unless he wants to be bald. And then filling out this corner over here is that little stinker, Eros. I've got some clear bricks attached to his feet, so it looks like he's flying. Eros is another Star-bought one, I think. I think this is something we added after because they straight up released a Cupid figure. Like, cool, put him on. I don't remember if he had that bow or stuff. There may be a tweak or two in here, but he's great. And he stinks because he's Eros. And okay, we're almost done here. Didn't think we'd get through all of them, but we did. Here's Pan. Pan was store-bought, but I gave him his glass and I gave him some pan pipes. Again, from a third-person thing. So he didn't come with that. And look, he has little goat legs. Got little tiny goat legs. Oh, which actually, I should mention, I did make some changes to the Minotaur that's there. I gave him Pan's goat legs. The original Minotaur actually had just different legs, like just kind of normal Lego people legs. But I'm like, if he came out first. I'm like, if you have like goat legs, give him some goat legs. So let's put him back up there. I don't know why he's there either. I have to move something. I'm going to make some changes to the display. There's some spots. Drunk on the floor, as he always is the Dionysus. Again, he hasn't changed since that first time we made him. If I could find like a cool slip that like went over one shoulder and still, so I wanted him to have his like kind of torn looking leopard pants, right? And this is from like, I think it was the Lego Caveman figure. So, but it doesn't have like the one-slit thing where it goes over one side. I would love to do that, but oh no, I keep knocking off owls. I haven't found that piece yet. Every once in a while, you just got to kind of look at these again. Now, I'm going to hold this up because part of her is actually attached to the base. Hestia. Hestia is, I think, pretty much entirely someone made a Human Torch figure, from the Fantastic Four. So, like, it kind of worked. We're like, oh, let's just do that. Well, Nicole was like, let's just do that. And then you could, oh no, Hermes, don't go in the fire. Let me take Hermes off. Built into her base, she sits there in the middle because, of course, she doesn't need a throne. She's, Hestia. All the action goes around her. There's some flames that are attached to it to give her more of a flame appearance, so it kind of goes around her. And then finally, we got Hephaestus. And there he is. There's his feet. He doesn't care as much about his appearance. He's rough. He's got a cool hammer. He's got his... he's got an anvil that he's working on there. He's working on a shield. And that's the second of 2 beards we had with him, and he has long hair. So, and then from behind, I figure I'll show you. There's the curtains attached. You can see spots behind each of the things. Like there is, don't know. I think someone's hair that fell off is missing. There's Hades' helmet. You can see an extra lightning bolt for Zeus. There's other details. Yeah, I don't know what was supposed to go back there. Oh, that's where Heracles' hair went before I took Heracles off. So that was the Lego Olympians set. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Oh, and the 2 owls up top. Like I said, they're from a Harry Potter set. One is, for Athena, because one of her symbols is the owl. And a lot of people don't realize this. Ares also has an owl as a symbol. His is specifically the screech owl, because screech owls are the most terrifying sounding things in the world. So it's Hades and Athena's owls are visiting them. So I'll post up some more photos and stuff after this. I'm going to post up some of the things that arrived. I saw, if you hold on a second, I saw that Nicole texted me again, so I want to see if there was anything about that. She found the super duper earliest photo, even earlier. This is what the original version, this is what I received for Christmas when I opened it up. So yeah, we straight up have that Hephaestus with that first beard. There's Aphrodite with her original hair. You can actually see Hades this time, because before you really couldn't see him. Hestia with the flames behind. Like, Hestia just really hasn't changed much. She was fully realized. There's Athena with her hair. Athena still has that hair, it just is behind her now in this one. Look how different Apollo is. He's actually wearing a Julius Caesar top, because they made a Julius Caesar figure. He's got a different color bow, which you didn't see Apollo's bow. I found him a gold bow. He's got just a brown one here. There is the Hermes with the, just totally, just different helmet. That helmet is now Hades' helmet. The different Hera. That's so cool. So thank you for joining me with this, this was me getting super geeky. I didn't realize it would take so long. So I don't know if I have a huge amount of time for questions, because they cut us off in 8 minutes, but I'll take any questions I got. Somebody, Michelle Mount2 or MT2 wrote, MT, is that a joke? Which Lego god or goddess that you made is your favorite? Ones that I made, because my favorite ones, it's probably stuff that Nicole made, because Nicole made the basic parts of these, right? I would have to say, as far as ones that at least I had a hand in, because I don't remember this complete breakdown of this, I'm pretty proud of this Demeter. Demeter, I feel bad. I feel like Demeter gets short shrift a lot, and my own series has contributed to this. Demeter doesn't even have a book named after her. We all know that Hades is really Demeter's book. But I love that I got her cryosaur, her golden blade. I love that the hair is perfect for her. It looks exactly like the hair. I think this is actually, it's not actually a Friends. I think they made a, what's her name, Merida from Brave? I think they made a Merida figure, and I got that. The angry face with the dirt on it, I just love it. And she has sandal feet. It's just she kind of, and which we, as we talked about, she should probably be barefoot. But she's got sandal feet because that's the way she's appeared so far. How do you imagine the gods' voices if you do? That's a great question. This isn't a secret to say there have almost been an Olympians TV show a couple times. It's really hard for TV shows to come together. And there's been a little bit of thought about what would voices be. And it's hard to picture. I'm trying to think if I really have a thought. I don't have a strong feeling. I think I'd have to hear it. There's some voices, I talked about Hades Town up front. Like Hades and that, the guy who plays him is this man named Patrick Page. This dude has the most sick bass in the universe. And now I kind of want to picture Hades that way, even though my Hades definitely looks different. His Hades is very suave, and he's got silver hair, he's well dressed, and he's got tattoos. My Hades is kind of mopey dopes. So I don't know if he'd sound the same. That'd be something that'd be really fun to do. I'd have to I don't know. Imagine I forget to turn this off and I think Herbie sounds like this. How sad would that be? I'm just doing it. If I were a Lego figure, which Lego Olympian would I be? I mean, is it really going to fool anybody if I'm Pan? I mean, look. It's the only ones with a hairy chest. I'm very furry. I also have furry legs. He's kind of a silly goat person. I'm a little bit of a silly goat person. I actually, it's not here right now. I actually have made Lego figures of myself. I'll go find them. I don't think I've updated my Lego figure since I have the beard, so it's the old Chindango Lego figure. But I have a Lego figure hiding in my Lego Olympus. I'll show him off tomorrow on Wednesday when I talk. This is a totally different question. Is my writing process and drawing process totally separated? No, they are actually intrinsically linked. Comics, as far as I'm concerned, it's words and pictures coming together to tell a story. And when they combine, this is important, they become greater than the sum of their two parts. So everyone works differently in comics, and you have to find the way you do it yourself better. But for me, if I write it first, and there will be parts I write that I don't draw first and vice versa. Like I'll do a little bit. But if I write an entire script first without drawing it, I'm missing out on a lot of opportunity to tell the story with my pictures. And if I draw it first without writing it, same thing. It's kind of, it's madness. So I do both simultaneously. Here's my sketchbook. I'm never really more than an arm's length away. I don't know if I actually, because this is a new sketchbook, I don't know if I have anything like that. I want to see if I have any examples of the way I write. I don't think so. I think I've just been doodling in this one. Well, normally if I'm writing, it'll be like there'll be pictures and words together. I kind of do both at the same time. Somebody, I think referring to Patrick Page in Hadestown, saying his first lines hit hard because of his voice. Yeah, if you ever see Hadestown, right? Like you're watching it live and like Hades is on stage for most of the first part of it. Like he's just kind of back there. Like it's like in like kind of a big speakeasy thing, and Hermes is talking a lot, and you get to hear Persephone, and of course you hear Orpheus and Eurydice and all these other characters, and like and Hades is just kind of hanging out back in like his office, and you see him and he's acting, but he's not saying anything. He's not any part of the main actor. Actually, when he finally says something, he goes, "Hey there, little songbird." And I remember my girlfriend and I like getting goosebumps and turning to each other and be like, what the heck? Like, what the Hades? It was amazing. Like, he's amazing. Like, Hadestown is wonderful. I'm going to talk a lot about Hadestown on Wednesday when I talk about Orpheus. So if you get a chance, maybe listen to a little bit of Hadestown if you want, or not. You know, maybe wait until you can see it live, because live it's incredible. But he really brings something to it. It's really amazing. If Hyacinth had lived until he became an adult, would the freckles be gone? I don't think so. I think he would have kept some freckles. They probably would have faded away. What inspired you to write Olympians? Also, was it hard to figure out where to start? My whole advice to people who want to do a creative endeavor, a lot of people spend a lot of time worrying about it first or trying to wait for inspiration to strike. In my experience, like you can't really wait for inspiration to strike. Inspiration strikes when you are working on something already. So if you want to do something like Olympians, I just say you just start drawing the Olympians all the time. Draw them really fast, draw them quickly, just draw as many as you can, and stuff will start coming to you. I was inspired to do Olympians for many reasons, but the main reason, in a real short way to put it, like as honestly as possible, Olympians was the book series I wanted to read, and nobody else was making it, so I made it myself. I've talked in other episodes, and maybe I'll do another Q&A soon, because this Q&A was taken up entirely with me talking about little Lego people. Like, I've always loved Greek mythology. It was always my favorite thing. So it took it doesn't make that much, it's not that much of a surprise that I like spent a lot of time drawing Greek gods. Like these designs of Olympians were things I would draw in my sketchbook for doodles, just for fun. And it just because I'd always be doing that, I thought about the Greek gods a lot. And then I made up a huge plan for a 12-book series, which I'm following miraculously close. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. It was one of the best things. Are the gods capable of shedding tears? Yes. Yes, they are. What is my favorite song in Hadestown? That is a good question. It's something Hades sings. I don't know which one, though. Like, anytime Patrick Page sings, I'm like, so anything he sings. Oh my gosh, we're down to the last 2 minutes, so let me wrap this up. My friend Henry's there. Hi, Henry. We went to college together. What are you working on currently? Well, as some of you may know, I am currently finishing up the Olympian series, though I will not be leaving the world of Greek myth forever. I'm working on Dionysus. Literally in that room over there is my studio, my home studio, and there's pages there that I'm in the middle of penciling, middle of inking, the whole thing. I'll probably do a episode coming up soon where I show you guys some of those pages, like this little sneak peek, so you can see some of the stuff that's been coming out. And then after that, I'm going to be working on Asgardians, the 4-book series retelling Norse mythology. And there's other stuff, too. There's a lot of other projects that are in various stages of being worked on. So it's been a lot. There's a lot. In fact, I just came up with a picture book idea, like, yesterday that I'm going to be working on a lot. And hopefully I saw that because I was really excited about it. It's just, and all of the stuff, it comes out of doodling. Or actually, the picture book kind of came out of a weird dream and then doodling. I do a lot of stuff from weird dreams, too. Write down your dreams. It helps. Okay, I think I think, unfortunately, we're down to like a minute. There's not any really easy question I could see. Is this Q&A going to be posted online like your other videos? Yes, it will be. This could be up on my YouTube. Oh, I didn't bring those papers over. Guys, send me your drawings, please, to georgeoconnorbooks@gmail.com. If you want to see my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/user/George Olympians, one word. You just type in George Olympians, one word, YouTube, it'll come up. And all the episodes are up there. I got to do a little bit of a change because I used a picture of my Lego Olympians for an old Q&A, but like this is definitely the Lego Olympians episode that gets there. I'm going to have to change some stuff in a little bit. Everyone, 13 seconds. So thank you so much for tuning in with the Lego Olympians. I'm going to post up a bunch of pictures on my YouTube feed, and I'll see you all Wednesday when we talk about Orpheus. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.